In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, the Factor has been criticized for reporting on the Muslim threat to the world for years. And Congressman Peter King has also taken some heat for holding hearings on the Islamist threat, but the hearings continued this week. In stark contrast to those worldviews is Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who's warning about the Christian threat at this week's hearings on Muslim extremism.
Are you familiar with the Christian militants?
Yes, I am.
Can one say that they might possibly want to undermine this country? Because right now, constitutionally, the right for women to choose is a constitutional right. People disagree with it, but here's an individual attempting to undermine the protections that are given to women. Would you suggest that that might be compared to trying to undermine this country? That's a possibility, is it not? But what I'm saying is, as we look to be informational, we should include an analysis of how Christian militants or others might bring down the country. We have to look broadly, do we not?
I don't know that Christian militants have foreign country backing.
Joining us from Portland, Oregon, Harris Zafar. He's the national spokesman for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community USA, the oldest Muslim organization in the United States. Harris, it's great to see you. Look, this hearing has been controversial at points. And other points, it seems like maybe people are learning something. But it was pretty interesting to see the Sheila Jackson Lee angle on all of this. It's like, I'll see you one Islamic terrorist, and I'll raise you a Christian radical. What was your take on this?
Well, first and foremost, as Muslims who believe in the Messiah, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, we are absolutely in favor of rooting out radicalism and terrorism, and we don't think a hearing can do that. But Congresswoman Lee brought up an interesting fact, which is that she's not warning the world of a Christian threat, but if anything, sitting on the subcommittees for international law, terrorism, and global counterterrorism, she's grounded in the realities of true terrorism. And she brought up an interesting, valid point, which is that there are non-Muslim militant groups out there that undermine authority and also challenge our Constitution. And we can go into the, the tit for tat of, who they are, like, the Hutari radical Christian militia group who tried to kill the law enforcement officials in Detroit, or the radical mother who slit the throats of her own little young girls because she believed in the Harold Camping prophecy. But the real lesson here, Laura, is painting radicalization as almost wholly and entirely Islamic problem is not grounded in realities. And instead of more talk, what we need are actual genuine efforts that to get rid of radicalism based off of that are consistent with data and facts.
Do you think that Muslims have a radicalization problem today around the world? I mean, is there a problem of radicalism being taught and not just in this country, but around the world? Do you recognize that or no?
No, I absolutely recognize that there are the radical fringe out there, and I'd have to be ignorant if I say that that's not out there. There definitely are the minority of the radical fringe out there, and we believe that if any imam is espousing such hatred or violence, he should be shut down, especially if he's going to a prison.
Well, there's thousands of them around the globe that are espousing all sorts of things, including the killing of Catholic priests while they're doing Mass in Iraq, or the murder of innocent Christians on buses in Egypt, or the evisceration of Christian parishioners throughout the Middle East. I mean, this is happening, and it's real, and it's not about demonizing any one group, but to say at a hearing about a really important issue. And if I were Muslim, I would be like, let's get to the heart of this. Let's have a hearing. Let's learn more. And to say that this Christian hootery group is like Jose Padilla in this mass concern about radicalization in the prisons, to me, it actually hurts Muslims. It doesn't help them to deny the true threat that radicalization does to good Muslim people in this country and around the world. That's my point.
Well, the interesting thing is the congressional research showed that out of the 43 attacks done by Muslims in the United States since 9/11, at most 4 were done by those that came out from prison. So the question does become, it's a valid question of 4 instances over a span of 10 years, does that warrant a congressional hearing, especially when it's flawed in the sense that nobody was called from the Federal Bureau of Prisons or the United States Department of Justice, who actually are experts on the real data and who speak to things like I've known, like actually teaching Islam in prison for the last 6 years. Right. And meeting with these, I know what the realities are, and I think it's been a little more anecdotal and not true data.
Mike Downing of the LAPD, Southern California, said that I think he finds about 15 to 20 reports of radicalization, Islamic radicalization, in his prisons over 7 counties every month. So that was his idea on that. But it's great to see you. Mr. Zafar, thanks so much. And straight ahead.